7,000 square foot property, and late tonight we saw agents walking out of this house carrying a cardboard box as well as several bags from the second story of the property out here. They were processing the scene there and could be seen taking notes on a table there.
When you look at Floyd Mayweather, it was like, bro, did you budget? Yeah, you got big injections, but the big payments also went out. Why you got so many?
Yeah, so many of
like I'm talking about from money, cars, clothes.
Yeah, you know it.
And the things that's next to the road.
Yeah.
But everybody got a ticket.
Some might say he's not going broke, he just wants to push off paying back the IRS, but I think this next document is a smoking gun. This is the collection appeal request Floyd sent to the IRS on why he couldn't pay. The explanation he sent was, need more time to gather the funds to pay in full. This is the IRS about to start seizing his assets. This isn't a personal loan. Why in the world, if he's made hundreds of millions of dollars, why doesn't he just pay the couple $1,000,000 so he can get the IRS off his back?
Floyd Mayweather is reportedly facing major financial pressure after U.S. tax authorities filed a tax lien totaling approximately $7.3 million against the boxing legend. The reported claim could put some of Mayweather's valuable assets under scrutiny, including his lavish Las Vegas mansion and extensive collection of luxury vehicles. The development has sparked fresh questions about Mayweather's financial situation despite the enormous fortune he accumulated throughout his undefeated boxing career. However, the reported tax lien does not necessarily mean his assets will immediately be seized or sold.
There's a car back there. We're gonna take that car.
The Internal Revenue Service has reportedly placed a $7.3 million tax lien against Floyd Mayweather over unpaid taxes connected to 2018 and 2023. According to reports from Business Insider, the notice was filed in Las Vegas last month, with records indicating that the balance remained outstanding as of March 26, but the development has once again placed Mayweather's financial management under the spotlight. Despite earning hundreds of millions of dollars throughout his career from blockbuster fights, endorsements, and business ventures, the retired boxing superstar is now facing renewed scrutiny over his tax obligations. Mayweather previously gave Stephen A. Smith a first-hand tour of his extravagant Las Vegas mansion, offering viewers a glimpse into his lavish lifestyle. During the tour, he showcased an incredible luxury car collection featuring Rolls-Royces, Ferraris, Bentleys, and Bugattis, with some vehicles reportedly valued in the millions. The centerpiece was Mayweather's famous $1 million garage, a symbol of the enormous wealth he accumulated during and after his legendary boxing career.
$1 million garage.
I know we're on television, Floyd, but I think it's necessary for me to say, damn.
Well, you know, we are on ESPN. These are sports cars. This is a sports network. This car costs $3.2 million. This Bugatti right here costs $1.6 million. You ain't seen these toys.
I haven't seen these?
No.
What? Floyd, this is 7 cars, man. Silver, platinum, Miami, black LA, white Vegas.
Yeah, in New York, I got my drivers.
And you got your drivers in New York?
Yeah.
Why? Talk to me about why you make the decision to drive different colored cars in respective cities.
Spoiled brat.
Oh, just being a brat?
Just being a brat.
The 7 cars that you showed me are in excess of 15 to 20 million.
The mansion itself was just as extravagant, featuring an indoor pool and spa, stunning marble interiors, multiple elevators, and a massive designer-filled closet stocked with Louboutin shoes and Birkin bags. The property also included expensive artwork and elaborate outdoor spaces, reflecting Mayweather's well-known taste for luxury. Mayweather's collection of high-end watches and jewelry added another layer of extravagance to the estate. The entire property was designed to showcase his wealth, success, and larger-than-life lifestyle. For Mayweather, the mansion became more than just a place to live. It stood as a powerful symbol of the fortune he built during his legendary boxing career and a perfect representation of a lavish lifestyle behind his famous money nickname.
Oh Lord, this is your closet?
Yeah.
I see the money team hats, along with various others.
Yeah.
Do you even know how many outfits you have?
I wear the same clothes, but I got a ton of clothes, but
You're not overly concerned about clothes. I mean, you're gonna be suited down when you need to be suited and booted for the most part.
But today, I got on this today. Today's
I'm not
chill.
talking about today.
Oh, today's just a chill day. It's
Yes.
like, you know what I'm saying? Then today is like, okay, I ain't really got nothing, but you know what I'm saying? I do got a Patek Philippe on my wrist.
Okay.
I think this watch probably cost $100,000 with no diamonds.
Let's move on.
The financial scrutiny surrounding Floyd Mayweather continues to intensify. According to reports circulating online, Mayweather is facing another lawsuit over an alleged $15,000 unpaid bill for private jet services. The claim comes shortly after reports of a separate $330,000 unpaid rent lawsuit and a reported $7.3 million IRS tax debt. These allegations have added fresh attention to questions surrounding Mayweather's current financial situation. Despite earning enormous sums throughout his boxing career, reports about unpaid debts, property issues, and legal disputes have fueled speculation about whether his extravagant lifestyle remains financially sustainable. Additional reports have claimed that Mayweather suffered an $8 million loss on a mansion, made $54 million in loan payments, faced foreclosure proceedings involving another property, and sold his private jet. Logan Paul has also alleged that Mayweather still owes him $1.20 million. Former NFL MVP Cam Newton has even addressed the reports, saying he hopes the allegations are not true. While many of these claims remain allegations or reported disputes, the growing number of stories has placed renewed focus on the financial affairs of one of boxing's biggest moneymakers.
Money, yeah.
Throwing hundreds in the camera. See, when you depict that type of lifestyle, brother, it just gives people the thought to say, man, must be nice.
Must be nice.
But what it'll be a thing if that runs out. Now, when you're writing bad checks and you're portraying this lavish lifestyle from private jets, PJs, and one of the most dumbest things that I seen, but I admired it. I was like, yo, you know what car or what area Floyd was in because of the color of his car. Did you ever peep that, Peggy?
What color was
See,
his
all
car?
his cars was either white or black, depending on where it was. In Vegas, all his cars were a certain color. In Miami, all his cars were a certain color. The same fleet that we need to start getting them receipts and taking it back to the people to say, hey, I got 16 Rolls Royces. I got the 06, 07, 08, 09, 010, 011, 012.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the same car. Why would you
do
do
you
that?
need that?
Anybody who knows luxury, brother, could tell you that's the price of playing luxury. Because how many versions of the Range Rover have you really seen?
Despite the growing financial concerns, Floyd Mayweather continues to showcase expensive cars, including new Rolls-Royce models and other luxury vehicles. Critics argue that these purchases may be less about financial stability and more about maintaining the wealthy money image he has built over the years. The contrast between Mayweather's continued displays of luxury and the reported debts and financial disputes surrounding him has attracted even more attention. As the reports continue to circulate, fans are left questioning whether his extravagant lifestyle truly reflects his current financial position.
Wow.
And a lot of people think he got it, including the IRS, because he nearly owes them $7.3 million in federal tax lien. So it's like he had it for you to owe $7.3 million. You had to have it.
That means you in taxes.
In taxes.
We was looking at them checks.
Yeah, we was. We was.
I mean, he went from Pretty Boy Floyd, Money Mayweather, to Mr. Pay-Per-View.
Okay.
Because when you look at the reports of all the top grossing pay-per-view participants in the history of pay-per-view, he on there. Multiple times.
In that Mount Rushmore.
So I'm trying to tell you, it's not even a trick Wait, how did you fumble?
Speculation surrounding Floyd Mayweather's finances intensified after Spencer Cornelia discussed allegations that the boxing legend had used some of his luxury watches and jewelry as collateral for loans. According to Cornelia, messages from August 2025 allegedly indicated that several of Mayweather's high-end watches had been pledged as security against outstanding loans. He claimed that some of the watches were later returned after portions of the balances were paid down, while others were reportedly still being held as collateral. The claims have added another layer to the ongoing speculation surrounding Mayweather's financial situation, particularly given his well-known collection of expensive watches and jewelry. However, these allegations remain claims and have not been independently established.
Down, he mentions that people have tried to take advantage of Jonah by bringing lawsuits against him as a way to extort him. And finally, Floyd writes, "I appreciate you taking the time to read this letter, Your Honor. I would just ask that you consider my personal testimony that Jonah Recknitz is a good person." He claimed that he didn't know about Jonah's past in the complaint, yet he wrote that letter in support of Jonah, showing he clearly knew about the litigation in New York, so it doesn't seem to add up. Many have speculated that Mayweather is coming out of retirement for a rematch with Pacquiao because he needs the money. Yes, this is why. Around August 2025, Floyd needed cash money, so he decided to start pawning his jewelry. Here's a text on August 25th, 2025 of Jonah sending Floyd an image of his watch and the word loan below. That represents that watch as being within the group that was being pawned. Here's the second image sent on that day. The top image is a collection of watches that were grouped together for a November loan and that many had been returned after the balance was paid down. Here's the next message of another collection of watches that were used for a loan. The image on the left is an exhibit Floyd included in the complaint. Within this list are 4 of the watches you see in the text message on the right that were included in the group of watches that were pawned. This indicates he continues to lie about not knowing that his watches were getting pawned for a loan to fund his lifestyle. What was told to me is that Floyd was running out of money. Now, obviously, his broke is a lot different than broke for me and you, but at this time he needed money, so he decided to pawn $13 million from his watch collection. He does have his own jet and has flown private for a couple decades, and he has an extensive exotic car collection. But what has been shared with me is that his lifestyle is so expensive that he constantly needs to take out loans against all his.
Cornelia further alleged that Floyd Mayweather had pawned approximately $13 million worth of luxury watches to generate cash. He acknowledged that Mayweather's definition of being broke would be very different from that of an average person, given the enormous fortune the boxing superstar has accumulated throughout his career. However, Cornelia argued that maintaining Mayweather's extravagant lifestyle could require him to repeatedly borrow against valuable assets. Mayweather has long been associated with luxury cars, private jets, high-end watches, and expensive jewelry, making these claims particularly notable that, if accurate, the allegations could raise questions about whether some of Mayweather's extravagant displays of wealth represent readily available financial assets or property being leveraged to support his lifestyle. Still, these remain allegations and should not be treated as confirmed facts without independent verification.
March, so around 7 months after he began pawning, he texted his pawn shop lender asking about the balance he owes so Jonah knows what the number is. Jonah, as Floyd's manager and the one who handles all the financial transactions, is the one who ensures that all the loans are paid off. The lender responds $1.85 million in checks, $10.8 million in jewelry, and $1.47 million in fees, and he mentions needing another $360,000 by Friday so the fees don't keep adding up. Floyd received the $13 million for pawning watches in his supposed $100 million watch collection. Jonah shared with me that people pay up to 3% per month, which is why the fees were so high. That loan was almost paid in full. If you reread Joel's message, it makes sense. Joel says, "I have recouped everything and hasn't had to sell any pieces. All that remains is another $360,000 so Floyd doesn't have to pay any more fees." In case you aren't following, Joel can sell the watches that were pawned if Floyd doesn't pay the $13 million back. But he didn't need to sell watches because he was paid back and made $1.5 million in fees. In the complaint, Floyd discusses pawning his $100 million jewelry collection with the words, "to be pledged or placed in the possession of Joel, a Miami jewelry dealer." The amount received was around $13 million. A substantial portion of the pledged jewelry remains in the possession of Joel and Modi, and no accounting has been provided to Mr. Mayweather.
Back in July 2017, Floyd Mayweather was reportedly facing more than $30 million in unpaid taxes owed to the IRS. At the time, speculation emerged that his highly anticipated return against Conor McGregor was motivated in part by the need to address those financial obligations, not simply to settle his rivalry with the Irish superstar. That McGregor used the reports to fuel the promotion, suggesting that Mayweather needed the fight more than he did. His comments added another layer of tension to an already massive event and became part of the heated buildup surrounding their 2017 showdown. Yet Mayweather had already earned an extraordinary amount of money throughout his career. Forbes previously estimated his career earnings at roughly $700 million by 2016, while he also invested heavily in real estate and was reportedly connected to a massive rental property portfolio. That makes the current financial concerns particularly striking. If Mayweather had consistently preserved and managed his fortune conservatively, reported tax debts and financial disputes might look very different today. Instead, maintaining an extremely expensive lifestyle filled with luxury cars, watches, jewelry, properties, private jets, and other high-value assets can create enormous ongoing expenses. And without regular blockbuster boxing paydays, sustaining that level of spending could become increasingly challenging. Ultimately, the bigger question may not be how much Floyd Mayweather earned, but how effectively he preserved the enormous fortune he built during his legendary career.
Floyd's return on investment is going to be here, but I'll just throw my guess out there for fun. I don't think it's going to be anywhere close to the 18% that 601 was claiming on their website. I think his return is going to look a little bit more like if he were to put his money into a REIT. Like for a simple example, if we look at Realty Income Corp, this is one of the most popular REITs around. They hold over 15,000 commercial properties in their portfolio, spread out over 90 different industries, and these guys pay a monthly dividend of about 5.5% if you invest your money with them. I'm sure 601 is giving Floyd a better return on his investment than Realty Income would give you or I, but it's generally the same concept as what I'm thinking, which means that if you put $100 million into this fund, he's probably making something like $600,000 per month on his investment. Next story. This one is definitely a change of pace. Floyd has now decided to invest a chunk of his money in the famous Versace mansion in Miami.
The new filing becomes even more significant when viewed alongside Floyd Mayweather's recent financial history. Business Insider reported in late 2025 that Mayweather had sold his private jet, as well as properties in Miami and Beverly Hills. Other assets, including residential properties and his Las Vegas strip club, were reportedly used as collateral for debt owed to financier Don Hanky Point 2 condominiums at the Trump Las Vegas residences were also reportedly seized over unpaid property taxes before being returned after the outstanding taxes were paid. Despite these financial pressures, Mayweather has continued to maintain an extravagant lifestyle, spending heavily on luxury cars, watches, jewelry, and other high-end purchases. The contrast has raised questions about Mayweather's financial decisions. While facing reported debts, legal disputes, and other financial obligations, the former champion has continued to publicly showcase the enormous wealth associated with his money persona. That Mayweather's purchase of the iconic Versace mansion is another example of his appetite for high-profile luxury. On the surface, the acquisition may appear to be another extravagant display of wealth, but the property could also have an investment component because it operates as a luxury hotel and has the potential to generate revenue at the same time. Owning such a globally recognized property gives Mayweather a prestigious trophy asset and a connection to the Versace name, which aligns closely with his well-known passion for luxury fashion and lifestyle. The purchase could therefore represent a combination of investment potential and personal prestige. However, when viewed alongside his other major expenditures and the financial pressures reported in recent years, it adds another layer to the debate over how Mayweather manages and preserves his enormous fortune.
Heck did Floyd Mayweather want to buy a piece of this place? Well, apparently he's partnering with the current owners, the Nikesh family, and someone else named Eli Gindi to acquire a large stake in the home. He's taken the majority of Gindi's interest for an undisclosed price, and all Floyd had to say about this deal is that he feels blessed to be a part of such an important piece of real estate. Since we have basically no context on his motives here, I'm just gonna do my best to put my spin on why he probably made this move. First, this home will probably spit off some cash flow for him because it is functioning like a hotel at this point. So he's kind of buying into a hotel with this one. Plus, the fact that it's the Versace mansion tells us that it will probably continue to appreciate pretty good over time. Second, this is just one of those trophy properties. Like, this is the type of house that you buy to have in your portfolio just because it makes you feel good and it gives you kind of something to brag about. And last, I don't really know anything about fashion, obviously, but Floyd wears a lot of fancy clothes. Some of those clothes are probably Versace